Famcast Media, bitch.
So a Satanist just won an election. Good afternoon, demons and demonesses. It's Kwame Wahkan here with some exciting, fascinating, shocking, and impressive news. So I finally have a Twitter account now, and this is what I saw tweeted down my feed. So the headline of this article reads, Transgender Satanist wins Republican nomination for county sheriff. This is extremely surprising, especially for, a Republican nomination. We all know how the Republicans are. They're extremely religious, extremely conservative, extremely Christian. And then you have a Satanist winning that primary and getting nominated. This blows my mind and impresses me at the same time. Good news for us Satanists, So this is from the New York Post, which is, I guess you can say it's pretty conservative leading newspaper. So, things that are written in the article, I'm going to change them up a little bit because, the terms are a little bit outdated and a bit incorrect at the same time. So, I'm just going to get along and read this. Aria DiMezzo calls herself a transgender Satanist anarchist, and someday soon, she hopes her New Hampshire county will call her sheriff. DiMezzo is already beating the odds, winning the Republican nomination in the sheriff's race, despite her libertarian leanings. I'm starting to like this person already, she's a libertarian. Don't get me wrong, I'm not like some extreme right-leaning libertarian, My thing is this, the whole satanic ideology is libertarian in nature. Despite her libertarian leanings, her title of High Priestess of the Reformed Satanic Church, and her decidedly non-law and order campaign slogan, fuck the police. So you're mad, I get it, DiMezzo blogged on Friday, about all the hate mail she's been receiving since she got news of her nomination in Cheshire County. But I was always upfront about who I am, she said of her nomination, which she partly credits to the same kind of it's all broken sentiments that got President Donald Trump elected. And as for anyone who voted for her without knowing anything about her, she had this to say, I didn't think that so many voters were just so completely and totally oblivious about who they are voting for. Your anger with the system that has lied to you, your anger with the system that has convinced you to believe in it, trust and have faith in it, when it completely and utterly is broken. Some 4,000 people cast votes for DiMezzo in the September 8th primary. So this story has a bit of a familiar edge to it. In fact, there was an election that had happened, I think, maybe 5 or 6 years ago in Texas between a guy named Dave Wilson and another guy named Bruce Austin. So the story is Dave Wilson, who was a white Republican, ran his entire campaign, pretty much, he didn't pretend to be black, but, he kind of portrayed himself as, a black Democrat. He said that he was relatives with a guy named Ron Wilson, who was, I think he was a black state assemblyman. But the thing is, he had a cousin named Ron Wilson who was white and lived in Iowa or Idaho. I'm not sure which state. So basically, he ran this entire campaign against, Bruce Austin, calling him out on all of this bullshit, all of the things that, he let the community down on. And he didn't show his face. And also another thing is that he didn't even meet with any of his constituents. Nobody shook his hand. Nobody, went to an event. Nobody went to a town hall with this guy. Nobody interviewed this guy. And all the black people in this district, because this was a predominantly black district, Dave Wilson won the election by at least 25 votes. And by the time they figured out that he was a white Republican, it was too late and he already won. And the thing is, Dave Wilson didn't even think he was going to win. He just thought this was a funny strategy, and he ended up winning the fucking election. And this just goes to show you, I'm just glad that a Satanist actually won. We need more, Satanists in our government. I personally think that the government would run a lot more smoothly if, rational people were in charge. People that weren't, always, thumping the Bible and, always trying to invoke God and all that other shit. But this just goes to show you that not everybody who votes knows exactly who they're voting for. Like, for example, my stepmother, she's a Joe Biden supporter. She doesn't even realize the fact that, Joe Biden screwed over people at her income level. I mean, I was trying to get her to, go for Sanders and things like that, but she swears up and down that, Biden, vote for Biden, this and all that and the other. And unfortunately, I guess you can say I'm not sure if she disowned me or if she just defriended me on Facebook. But all I know is that we're no longer friends on Facebook because she's mad at me because I didn't want to vote for Joe Biden because I didn't like what he stood for. But to get back on topic, a lot of people don't know exactly who they're voting for. They just look at the ballot, they say, Democrat, vote Democrat. Ooh, Republican, vote Republican. They don't bother, going to their campaign websites. They don't bother, meeting them, shaking their hand, asking them, tough questions about what they're going to support, what they're not going to support. I mean, it seems like the only people that actually take the time, to research the candidates that they're voting for, it seems to be, it's mostly young people, millennials and Generation X and things like that. We're the only ones that actually want to take the time and are mainly, motivated by policy rather than, party line. I'm not going to just vote for somebody just because they're a Democrat. I'm not going to vote for somebody just because they're a Republican. If your policy positions don't align with mine, and if they don't benefit the community or the country rather, then I'm not going to vote for you. I'm not going to give you a vote that you haven't earned. And that's the problem with a lot of our politicians today. They feel like they're entitled to a certain vote. They think, I'm a Democrat, so I'm automatically going to get the black vote. I'm a Republican, so I'm automatically going to get, the religious right-wing vote and the evangelical vote. And that's not always how it works. And, DiMezzo was right for pointing this out. This does show a major flaw in the system, but, she was able to use that flaw for her advantage. And to be honest, I hope she does win, the general election in her county. I mean, now that people know that she's a Satanist, she probably might not win. I don't know. I mean, might encourage some people to stay home, but then again, maybe people might actually vote for her. Who knows? Either way, a Satanist winning a Republican election is a good thing. It's a surprising thing, and let's just say she broke down the barriers. And the fact that she's transgender too, that's like a double one-up for me. Because I love transgender people and I love Satanists. And also being that, DiMezzo is a libertarian, I think she might do well if she does become sheriff. You know how libertarians are. I mean, I know it's a stereotype at this point, but it is somewhat true. Libertarians are very lenient when it comes, to marijuana. So maybe if she becomes sheriff, she might be lenient on potheads, which is a good thing because, we shouldn't be locking up people for, smoking a fucking plant anyway. So, I mean, let's just say she will probably get some of the youth vote. I don't think she's going to get the evangelical vote. I don't think she's going to get the suburbanite vote. I don't think a lot of Democrats will cross over to her, especially because you have to understand the United States is still a very religious country. So the election can go either way. I'm not sure if they have debates or town halls when it comes to, sheriffs and whatnot, or how many people even attend these events. So I wish this woman a lot of luck. She has my blessing, she has my love, she has my support. And to be honest, we need more politicians like her. We really do. Whether you're running for sheriff, whether you're running for mayor, town council, dog catcher. Do people even run for dog catcher? I don't even know. That's just something I hear a lot. But I'm in love with this woman already. In fact, there's been many times myself where, I kind of questioned whether or not I should run for office or anything like that. And you know what? If she was able to win like this and, come up with a strategy to get people to vote for her without even researching her, then maybe there's still hope for me. Maybe I can run for office one day and win something. That's one of the things that scared me is that, I would love to run for office. I know I would do good representing my community, representing my people. But nobody would vote for me because, of my religious beliefs. So I kind of gave up. But, This. I just learned a lesson from Aria DiMezzo, and that's one thing I shouldn't give up. You know, I shouldn't give up. I probably should, you know, keep that as an open option if it ever comes down to it. Maybe I should, you know, get more involved in politics than what I really am now. I'm still just mind blown about this. High Priestess of the Reformed Satanic Church. I'm gonna have to research this organization because this is like the first time I've ever heard of it. And, you know, I've heard of, you know, the Church of Satan, obviously. Then you have the Satanic Temple, and then you have the United Aspects of Satan. And now what? The High Priestess of the Reformed Satanic Church. I'm gonna have to look into this organization and do another video on it because, like I said, this whole show is about metal and Satanism. So if it has anything to do with Satanism, guarantee you I'm gonna do a video about it and at least talk about it. But that's all I have to say about it. To Aria DiMezzo, I wish you much luck. I wish you much success. I love you. I want to thank you for doing this because you're doing a great service to your community and a great service to the country, and you're making history for Satanists all over the United States. So I wish you much luck and much success with your campaign, and you have my support and endorsement. So, till next time, guys, stay metal, hail Satan, and I'll see you guys on the flip side. Alright, so after I got done editing and rendering this video, I got some news that a conservative Christian took some spray paint and they spray painted a phallus on Aria's car with the F word. I guess all that talk about loving your neighbor and stuff just all goes out the window, you know? Talk about triggered snowflakes. Now I really hope she wins this election. That would make everyone's heads explode. Also, another thing I want to add is that Aria is an extremely talented guitarist. So not only is she a Satanist, but she's also a metalhead as well. Can I just marry this woman already? I mean, this is wife material right here.